Ну, а кто? Пока никто не объявился. Радомар здесь, даже, да?
Бывает задача сегодня.
Хорошо, мы тут дождем, да, их?
Да.
Дорогие преданные, мы ждем Шила Гурудева. So we're waiting for Shila Gurudev to arrive.
Ну, это Шрила Кеша, вы можете, пожалуйста, камеру повернуть вот...
Хари Кришна, простите, меня слышно?
Да, вас слышно.
Спасибо большое.
Да, замечательно слышно. Готовитесь.
Матаджи Анастасия, меня слышно?
Да, вас слышно.
Матушка Лила Кешева, пожалуйста, вас хорошо слышно, все видно, когда надо будет, вы включаетесь, да? Ну, если будет камера как-то не так стоять, ничего страшного, вы просто постоянно в эфир попадаете.
Ну, так хорошо, так нормально?
Да, следите за микрофоном, пожалуйста.
Александр Прабу, вы мне текст не отправляли еще?
Нет, еще не отправил. Чуть попозже, Сергей, хорошо? Сейчас с трансляцией разберусь.
Дорогие преданные, я смотрю, наше количество увеличивается, это замечательно. Мы все еще ждем Шила Гурудева, чтобы начать.
Дорогая матушка Лила Кешева, пожалуйста, не включайте свой микрофон, пока не нужно будет отношение с Шили Гурудевым. Спасибо большое.
А у нас пока есть время? Сколько у нас его есть?
Подожди, а вот нужно сейчас вот это вот делать экран, Александр? Сейчас уже начало как бы.
Да, я вот смотрю, кто запустил.
Ну, давайте никто без разрешения не будет запускать свои экраны, пожалуйста, потому что это идет всем участникам, и мы уже начинаем.
Александр, вы хотели на Zoom, да, проверить?
Я хотел просто, чтобы вы какое-нибудь вводное слово сказали для всех рядов, что мы уже были готовы к приходу Гурудева.
Я думаю, сейчас у нас уже Гурудев появляется, и мы начнем
Да.
4-й день празднования Вьяса-Пуджи, путешествовать по городам России и слушать замечательные выступления замечательных преданных из России, так? И сегодня у нас ведущий замечательный, непревзойденный Ананта Бриндаван. И ему передаем слово.
Спасибо большое, дорогой. Here I can see Srila Gurudev is coming. So, дорогие преданные, мы начинаем.
Dear devotees, we are starting.
Srila Gurudev is almost here. Дорогие преданные, я как вижу, что дорогой наш Srila Gurudev уже здесь.
I can see that our dear Srila Gurudev has joined.
Tamashi Prabhu, just confirm we can start and confirm that Srila Gurudev is here, and we will have Jivaraj
Yes, we can
Prabhu.
start. We can start, Ananta.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a Jivaraj Prabhu who will be speaking about the meaning of the Vyasa Puja and the meaning of the disciple and Guru relationship. So Jivaraj, дорогой наш, будет рассказывать нам о значении Vyasa Puja и расскажет нам о взаимоотношениях духовного учителя.
Jivaraj will talk about the meaning of the Vyasa Puja and the relationship between the spiritual master and disciple.
Кришна, да. Дживарадж. Но меня и Враджарадж называют. Ну, не...
They call me Rajaraj, but Jivaraj. It doesn't matter.
Простите.
Please excuse me. That's all right. That's all right.
Кришна.
Мы вас все слушаем внимательно, пожалуйста. Простите, да.
Please proceed, Prabhu. Thank you.
Дорогой Шрила Гурудев,
Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Dear Vaishnavas, please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
мне выпало
I am very fortunate to glorify Gurudev on this day. Srila Gurudev is so merciful that he is ready to accept our love and gratitude for several days in a row. The Vedanta Sutra begins with the statement, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, inquire about the absolute truth. What does the word now mean? In fact, this statement is preceded by the awareness of our deplorable position in the material world. Each person should ask himself why he is suffering. If this question does not arise, then he is in deep ignorance. And who should he ask these questions to? A spiritual master. If this realization did not come yet, then a person is not ready to accept a spiritual master. Otherwise, he will accept him for mercantile reasons, such as a tribute to fashion Or one may think a spiritual master should solve his family or psychological problems. When a person realizes how much he is suffering and no one except the spiritual master can help him, this means that he is ready to accept the spiritual master and can firmly grasp his lotus feet, his instructions. Choosing a spiritual master is not like choosing a product in a store. The spiritual master is the one who saves us. Therefore, mainly, this is not actually a choice, because the one who really saved us and continues to save us is our guru. We can say that Srila Prabhupada saved us because he brought the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to Western countries and to Russia. However, without a living representative of Prabhupada, it is impossible to achieve tangible progress and especially success in devotional service. Through his instructions through the dangers of the material world to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, helping to develop a long-forgotten relationship with them. He gives us initiation, imparting the mercy of the whole Guru Parampara. He takes our karma, so it is not so difficult for us to walk the spiritual path under the weight of our sins. And he prays for us. We can serve him physically, glorify him, and we can see with our own eyes his example of preaching, worship of the deities, etc. Now we see our spiritual master talking about the most confidential pastimes of Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan. Once, Gurudev said that he had already revealed to us all the topics of Krishna consciousness in his lectures, which he has given so far. But spiritual topics are so limitless that Gurudev always amazes us with more and more discoveries of various places in Vrindavan and the leelas that took place there. Srila Prabhupada once said about the Krishna book that this book would be a shelter for the devotees in the highest level of Krishna consciousness, in the mode of separation from the Lord. I remember when on Kartika Parikrama, Gurudev and I came to Lalita Gram, where we met a Brijabasi. He said that he reads Prabhupada's books and feels the mood of Vrindavan in them. Then, Gurudev made sure that this Brijabasi received the entire set of Prabhupada's books. What Gurudev is lecturing on now will go down in history and will help many generations of Vaishnavas to develop meditation on Leelas in Vrindavan, while Diary of a Traveling Monk shows Gurudev's example of how to preach. In this way, Gurudev teaches his disciple and all readers or listeners both personal bhajana and preaching, Sankirtana Yagya. Gurudev also teaches us how to be disciples. Let me give you a description of the 4 stages of discipleship from the Sattvata Samhita. The first stage of discipleship is called Samyin, or apprentice. Then, the disciple, by serving the spiritual master with all humility and devotion, becomes a putraka. This stage of discipleship is characterized by the intimate relationship between a guru and disciple, in which the disciple becomes like a son to the teacher. The disciple's preaching becomes a source of pride for the teacher. The third stage of discipleship is sadhaka. This is the one who is engaged in deep meditation on the holy name, worshipping a certain deity for his own benefit and the benefit of others. He can do this because he has received personal instructions from the spiritual master. Srila Gurudev recited the phrase from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Now, hear about the glories of Goloka. End of quote. That is, at the right moment, when the disciple becomes qualified, the spiritual master reveals the confidential topics to him. And the last stage of discipleship is acharya, when the disciple becomes a teacher. He perfectly knows how to worship the deity, chant the holy name, and is able to teach this to others. Thus, all these 4 stages are not a ritual, but an internal transformation of the disciple. This is the natural stage of discipleship when the student himself becomes a teacher. Being a teacher is a burden, but a burden of love. Guru is translated as heavy, meaning that the teacher is full of wisdom and is able to resolve any doubt of the disciple and bring him to the highest goal. Our spiritual master generously shares his memories of his discipleship with Srila Prabhupada. If we listen to a spiritual master and observe his example, then it becomes very easy for us to follow the spiritual practice. It is not enough just to accept the spiritual master formally. One should serve the spiritual master as God's representative and listen attentively to his instructions. If I say I have a doctor, but do not ask him how to be treated and do not follow his recommendations, how will I be cured of the disease? This is simply impossible. Likewise, the spiritual master expects us to follow his example. What amazes me most about Gurudev is his versatility, especially when it comes to deity worship, as I really enjoyed this service. Gurudev worships Radha Krishna, as well as Lord Nrsimhadev, Varaha, Hayagriva, Vyasadeva, Sitaram, Hanuman, Lord Shiva, and other divine personalities. At first, it seemed to me that my desire to serve these forms arose by itself, but when I saw that Gurudev worships these same forms, I realized that this mood comes from him. Thus, over and over again, I am convinced that Gurudev is a transparent medium through which we receive the grace of the Lord. He does not overshadow the grace of the Lord, but he helps us to receive it in a concentrated form. Let us take advantage of this great fortune to listen to Gurudev's lectures, participate with him in preaching, serving what is dear to him, read his books, associate with his exalted disciples, chant the holy name with him, and visit holy places under his thoughtful guidance.
Спасибо за внимание. Гуру Махарадж, поздравляю вас с 72-летней Сапуджи.
Maharaj, congratulate you with 72nd Yasapuja. My wife also wanted to say something.
Если можно.
If possible.
Да, конечно, пожалуйста.
Dear Shri Gurudev, please accept my obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the day of your appearance. It's very inspiring to see your disciples. So many disciples in St. Petersburg who are very much devoted to you, and they support me so much. Mataji Lila Priya, she is my mentor. She is helping me in the spiritual path. My husband, my friend, my teacher. He is always inspiring me in his devotion to spiritual master. He can follow you to any part of the world. And I pray that I could also have at least a part of the devotion which he has for you. The younger sister of Jivaraj, she is also amazes me with her devotion, how she follows Dharma and devotion to the holy name. His elder sister, she is also your disciple, and for us she is too a great example of a mother, of a wife, of a great devotee. Basically, your disciples are everywhere, and they're always supporting us. Thank you so much for this, and thank you for your hospitality in Vrindavan, where we can always find some service. Shri Gurudev Ki Jai.
Спасибо, дорогие преданные, спасибо.
Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you so much.
Сейчас
Now we will read Srila Gurudev.
Srila Gurudev to this wonderful ceremony. Srila Gurudev, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Srila Gurudev, we can hear you, we can see you. Thank you so much for doing this again and again and again. So we have so many devotees ready to reveal their hearts, to cry, to laugh, to pray at your lotus feet. So, дорогие преданные, сейчас мы дадим слово нашему любимому.
Now we will give the word to our beloved Srila Gurudev, and yes, one word of wisdom.
Vishnuddhaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Timani, Namaste Saraswati, Gauravani Chari, Jishuvai, Asatadishani. I thank you, I can give you a very nice, short, very potent talk there. We often say that eloquence is truth spoken concisely. And in this way, the audience can remain focused and absorb whatever instruction is there, and then with great enthusiasm, execute those instructions. So again, I'm called upon to speak. I was thinking the other day, when I was young, I was quite shy, and in order to overcome my shyness in high school, I took a class on public speaking. And but the problem was that every time I was called upon to speak, I was too shy to speak, so I failed the course. But here's an example that by the mercy of Guru and Guranga, one can overcome one's deficiencies, all deficiencies, lust, anger, and greed even in spiritual life, in order to be a proper representative of the spiritual master. So now I'm speaking every day. And I was thinking that this Vyasa Puja celebration in India, in general, it's done on Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima is one day of the year where all the disciples, several times, we have one for Vyasa Puja for the American devotees, for the Russian devotees, the Ukrainian devotees, the Baltic, but some of you are coming again and again and again. You're just filling up with the nectar, hearing the realizations of your God brothers and God sisters, which is so important for advancing in Krishna consciousness. So I think it's okay, because Vyasa Puja is really a nourisher. And what is it to just click on, and they may say, it can go to the head of the guru if he's worshipped day after day after day after day, but as spiritual masters in ISKCON, we are being worshipped by disciples, different parts of the world, and the secret is to never take credit. To always give credit where credit is due. To be honest. One quality of a devotee is they're straightforward, which can also be taken to be they're honest, and it's a quality of a Brahmin. So those who have positions of any responsibility in ISKCON, whereby you will get respect, we have to always remain humble and never forget that whatever we are spiritually is, whatever we are materially, that's our fault. It's your fault. Whatever you are materially. But whatever we are spiritually, that's all the blessings of the spiritual master. So we should learn this technique. Rather, it's an affair of the heart, that whatever credit we get is immediately given to our spiritual master, and to our senior God brothers and senior God sisters, or anyone who's so kind to encourage us in spiritual life. Immediately we give the credit to them. We don't want to be, Prabhupada told a story one time about a king who was sitting at giving, you could say darshan in the sense of a king giving counsel to his subjects. And they were saying, like we say in French, vive le roi, vive le roi, vive le roi, long live the king, long live the king. Okay, the king's our protector, protecting us from conquering enemies, and by taxing, he's providing wealth for building roads and keeping up the military and opening hospitals. So, okay, vive le roi. So Prabhupada said one time there was a mosquito. A mosquito was flying around, a tiny insect. And he happened to land on the knee of the king when everyone was saying, vive le roi, long live the king. And this ignorant insect he was sitting on the knee of the king, and he was taking it that they were all glorifying him somehow. Like sometimes we take it, people are glorifying, yes, I have done this. So this little king, or this little insect with Prabhupada would say, poor fund of knowledge. It's an ISKCON term. You never hear that in a classroom, in university, in the world. They never say, you're guilty of a poor fund of knowledge. It's a cute saying by Prabhupada. Has so many wonderful sayings like that, which just make Krishna consciousness so interesting. So this mosquito, he had a poor fund of knowledge. A poor fund of knowledge. And he was thinking, yes, you see, I've flown from there to here, and I have a family of 25 mosquito children, and I have defeated, my opponent in a mosquito battle, whatever. It all went to his head. And he was sitting on the knee, and yes, more, viva, me, more. And he got so excited that his stinger came out from his underside into the knee of the king. Got so excited. And king went like that. Mosquito finished. So we don't want to be like that. The mosquito, yes. Said even a beggar can be proud of his penny or his pence or his rupee, whatever. It's not, just the big whips in ISKCON. Even a poor man can be proud of his penny. So how do we avoid this? We avoid this by always glorifying others. We always glorify others. And even if we do it mechanically, eventually the purification will come, and we'll do it with realization. This is Vaishnava. Vaishnava doesn't criticize others. He doesn't. If we criticize someone, if we see something in them we don't like, we can only see it because we have it in ourselves. Like Maharaj Yudhishthira, he was such a great soul. He saw everyone equally. Therefore, it's said that Maharaj Yudhishthira, his enemy was never born. Maharaj Yudhishthira's enemy was never born. He may have had enemies, but he didn't see them as enemies. He was Krishna Bhakta. He saw them as, of course, when a tiger comes, you don't embrace the tiger. You realize he's a tiger. You love the tiger, but you don't embrace him. So Yudhishthira had to fight to protect Dharma. But he saw the true equality of all living beings. So the devotee never criticizes. He thinks that if someone has a fault or doing something wrong, he has faith the Holy Name will purify that devotee in time, or that through the proper channels, that devotee will be corrected. Not that we have to publicly say, he's this and he's all that, he's done that. No. Through proper authority, one can be corrected. At various times in all our devotional careers, we need correction. So devotee has this vision of equality like this, and he tries to see everyone equally, and he's very appreciative of any counsel that he may get. And so the spiritual master, when he sees in the disciples, he sees the good qualities, he magnifies them, and if this is the duty of the spiritual master, if he sees some quality that's not good, then that is his position to correct the disciples. Prabhupada said of his own spiritual master, he said, my Guru Maharaj, he was always chopping. Chop. You're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing this wrong. And sometimes his disciples complain if their spiritual master's chopping technique, but it's always done in love, like spare the rod, spoil the child, like that. So as the relationship with the spiritual master grows through time, we appreciate his, like it said, Lord Chaitanya, sometimes he was strong like a thunderbolt and sometimes soft like a rose. But the combination is that we become purified, and in a purified state, we begin to see the Vaishnavas more clearly. We begin to understand the spiritual master more clearly. We begin to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead more clearly. So these sessions are very important, these Vyasa Pujas, and therefore I'm happy to sit here. But whatever you say nice about me, I appreciate that. That's your duty as disciples, but you should know that where does it all end up? At the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. That's where it all ends up, and that's wonderful. Like I said yesterday, all roads lead to Rome. So ultimately, as a society of gurus and disciples and cooks and Sankirtan devotees and artists and teachers and, the most important Vyasa Puja of the year is Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, where all of us turn as a collective society, the big, the small, the intelligent, the not so intelligent, the beautiful, perhaps not so beautiful, but it doesn't make any difference. Those who have done big service, those who have done little service, pot washers and teepees, whatever. On that one day, like you see a crowd, just everyone turns at the same time with their hands and offers praise to whoever there. So we as a society, that day of the year, Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, we all turn and we acknowledge him as the founder Acharya of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, who's giving mercy to each and every one in this movement accordingly, as much as we want, as much as we've let go of our material desires and plans and attachments and opened our hearts to Prabhupada and Radhamadava and Gauranga Mahaprabhu Nitai. All together, one big offering. That's the best Vyasa Puja. But this is a good step in the right direction because the disciple feels that we can learn about Prabhupada from our spiritual master. That's the process. Because everything comes down to just a big succession. So what I know of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Gopishtodas Babaji Bhakti Motavar, I feel I'm learning that through my Guru, Prabhupada. So in the same way, there's a special generation, Prabhupada disciples. And that won't be there forever. That's just, hard talk. We say there's a television program in America called Hard Talk, where, no sentiment, just the hard facts, what's going to happen. So the day will come when Prabhupada's disciples won't be here. And I tell you, frankly, that something will be missing. Just like when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati left, things fell into chaos. When Prabhupada left, there was some chaos, but of course RGBC pulled together. So similarly, when Prabhupada's disciples pass away one day, something will be made up by the next generation and the glories of their devotional service and how they carry on the movement, sticking closely to tradition, but innovating at the same time to push forward Krishna consciousness. But, it's like when a great Vaishnava passes away, it's never the same. The world's not the same now that Pankajangri Prabhu left. You can say yes, but he was one devotee, but one devotee is worth, 1,000,000 demigods. I think I can get away with saying that. One devotee, one Vaishnava, whose only desire is to save humanity, nothing personal. It's worth 1,000,000 demigods. And Pankajangri Prabhu was instrumental in increasing our faith in being a disciple, being a pujari, being a humble devotee like that. So it's like the world's just total darkness, and the real candles that light up this world with knowledge are Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and it's so dark that if one candle goes out, the world becomes a little darker. So it's imperative that we make more devotees, so there's lots of candles. But when this generation passes away, those who, not that we're anything special, but there's something to be said. about this generation for all our mistakes. What we did with the enthusiasm that we gained from Prabhupada's coming. Remember in the temples, something like Krishna's coming back from the forest. I would equate it to that. I don't know if that's Shastric, but in my heart, what do I know about Krishna without Prabhupada? So in the temples, I remember there was a special flavor. Prabhupada was coming to the temple. He'd come once a year to the major temples. Prabhupada's coming, and Prabhupada would come, and all of us, regardless of who we were or how hard our hearts were, everyone would cry. Everyone would cry. Yakiwash, we say in Polish, a river of tears. So, yeah, those were special times, and there's a special touch there, but that touch can be given to others. And that's the duty of the present Prabhupada disciples to give that. If they realize something special in Prabhupada, then they should give it to others. That's our culture. Whatever we have, we share equally and unequivocally. We give everything. Everything that we have, we give to our disciples. And we would be left to be bereft? No. Because the mercy of Mahaprabhu is he fills up the pot of mercy again. So I feel one of my most important services to all of you is to give you Srila Prabhupada as I know him and knew him and want to come close to him again. And if and when I get the qualification to be with Prabhupada again, I'll make sure that all the little ducklings are with me. That all my disciples, like a mother goes somewhere with 10 children, where are they? Come here. Like that. So my promise to my disciples is that if and when Prabhupada thinks that I'm qualified to have his darshan again, then I'll make sure that under my wings are all of you. And we will stand together in front of Srila Prabhupada equally. Although you'll think here is my guru, still, in Prabhupada's eyes, we're just jivas who lost the way. And we're coming home. So we'll all stand before Srila Prabhupada with clean hearts, or hearts with all these nasty desires. Go away, be gone with you. Like Putana said to Krishna, be gone. So all materials like, go away. And then quickly as possible, water that Bhakti Lata beach. Because life is short and then you die. I just lost another dear godmother 2 days ago, Mahashungar Prabhu. He was once a sannyasi in ISKCON. Very nice devotee. He had a preaching spirit. He died of COVID 2 days ago in a hospital, alone, in a hospital in Jaipur. It was Sunday, no one could come. But I knew him well, and I knew that he was chanting. If he wasn't conscious, his soul was crying out to Prabhupada. He was a very nice devotee. So life is short and then you die. So do we have time to waste in anything else? No, we want to stand before, like they say, stand naked before God. What does that mean? No material clothes, no material attachments. We want to be able to stand before our Guru naked, as Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj said, die before you die. But that's not a bad thing, but then wake up the living soul. Stand before Prabhupada. I want to be cowherd boy. I want to be cowherd girl. I want Krishna as my son. I want to be tree and give my fruits to Krishna and Balaram as they come by. I want to roll in the dust of Raman Reti. I want to bathe in liquid prema in Radhakund and Shamakund. That before we die, that's what I wanted. No one should think they're ready to die yet. Because when we chant, there's no tears coming. So the tears have to come. That's a sign. Tears have to come. So we have a lot of work to do, and we don't have much time. So let's just absorb ourselves in these type of activities, these Vyasa pujas, even if we do them again and again and again. I think it's okay. Because whatever nourishes the Bhakti Lata Beach creeper, the end result is Krishna consciousness. That's okay. Not all year. This is, I think these Vyasa Pujas are going for 12 weeks or something. But I'm going to be there because I love to hear all of you, because I see year after year, by hearing your realizations, I realize, yes, this process is authentic. Baba said, this Krishna conscious movement is authorized. And what's the proof of its being authorized? All of you are making nice progress in Krishna consciousness. All making nice progress in Krishna consciousness. So for me, that's most satisfying. Because that means I can say to my Guru, Prabhupada, I think I'm doing a good job. I hope you're satisfied that all these young boys and girls are under my very humble direction, are making progress. You just see Prabhupada, this nice boy here. You please accept him. See this nice girl here. I think today we also have our Yamuna Priya. Is she here? Yamuna Priya, Hare Krishna. You're with us. Behind you looks like there's Govardhan Hill. You're almost 9. Hare Krishna. You're almost 9, and you're making so much progress. You have the best attention span of all the devotees, because I can see their photos, and sometimes they're looking and going here, but you're fixed. So I don't know who you are, but I'm glad that I'm here to help you. Yesterday she made a cake for me, and I got to see it after the Vyasa Puja ceremony, and she also made a very nice drawing for me. So I told her I would send her some beads from Radhakund, carved by a monk out there, a sadhu, Radharani's name on each bead, and I told her one day I would take her to Vrindavan. She's almost 9, but in many ways she's more progressive than a lot of us. So let's continue now. I'm just going to sit here and very humbly, whatever I hear, it's like water off a duck's back, or water on the lotus flower. It's just going to go straight to Prabhupada's heart, where all glorification belongs. So thank you, everyone. I'm sorry if I spoke too long, but I love all of you more than you'll ever know. Actually, I love all of you so much. And I just want to tell you that and tell you how seriously I take this responsibility. I really do. Even if you kind of forget, even if you go off, I'll find you and drag you back by the hair. It's my job. Guru is heavy. Just to remind you that I'm not going to let you go, ever. We're going to take you and tie you around the lotus feet of the divine couple, Shri Radha, Madhava, Mayapur. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanandi. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Sham Sham Sham. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, dear Shri Gurudev. We're so touched as always. You know that every time we see you, hear you, we're so touched deeply. And although we've been missing you for almost eternity now, the relationships they deepens so much in our heart. Дорогие преданные, спасибо.
Dear devotees, thank you so much that you're here today. And just now we heard our Srila Gurudev. And as always, we are very touched. And even though we are missing so much and haven't seen his personalities for so long, yet our relationship with him becomes only stronger because of such meetings like today, which are so dear to us, these Vyasa Pujas. I can see how many of us are crying. And so many people are writing to me right now, Anantaji, I'm crying. The hands are just going down. All I can say, please cry more. Because thus you can free the love from your heart which is inside there. Today we have so many devotees, around 30 wonderful, precious to us devotees who are eager to share the secret, what they have in their hearts. And before we will start, I would like to welcome one very, very dear friend of Srila Gurudev, and also he is very elevated guest for us.
to this beautiful event, our special guest, Tribe Das Prabhu and Mataji Krishnaloka from Bologna, Italia. I think that's how I say, right? Давайте поприветствуем
Let us welcome.
дорогого друга Трая Даса Прабhu.
Let us welcome Try Das Prabhu.
Oh, try that.
Krishna Loka. Hare Krishna.
Mataji Krishnaloka.
Can you hear us? Can you have your microphone unmuted? Thank you so much. We want to see you as well.
I'm here, but I have to see. Hare Krishna. I would feel very honored and very happy to be invited to take part in this wonderful ceremony, and especially to be able to glorify my dear friend and senior God brother and spiritual master, Siksha Guru, Nidhi Swami, who I know. I want to tell a little stories about how I first met Nidhi Swami. Sometimes people think that, well, if you're from America, then you knew everybody, all the devotees of America before you went outside. But it's not like that. I'm a very close friend with Radhanath Swami, and I didn't meet him until he came to Italy. Like 30 years later. I never met him in America. I also never met Nidhi Maharaj in America. But at a certain point, as we know, as Maharaj was explaining, when Srila Prabhupada left this planet, externally, and there was a bit of chaos, a bit of disturbance. And I decided to take shelter. In America, things were getting quite disturbing, quite chaotic. And I had a good friend in France. It wasn't Nidhi Maharaj, it was Keshavarati Maharaj. And he invited me to come. So I slipped out the back door. I was on Sankirtan, and I took a flight. Somehow or other, I took a flight on Icelandic Airways, and I ended up landing in Paris. And somehow I found my way to the temple at that time. This was in 1980, just 2 or 3 years after Srila Prabhupada left. And I walked in the door, and the very first devotee, I've been here now in Europe for over 40 years. And the very first devotee I met was Nidhi Maharaj. And I can still remember very clearly walking in the door, and he was just getting ready to go out on the festival. Just surprising enough. This is 40 years ago. He was just preparing, we were getting their flags ready, and prasadam, and all the instruments, and he was just about to go out on Harinam on the festival. And I was speaking with Keshavarti Maharaj, and he was saying how many years later, he was saying, just see how successful Nidhi Maharaj is, because he stuck with that service. And I can attest to that, because I met him 41 years ago, and he was doing exactly the same program, the same thing. He was going out on the street, chanting, dancing, distributing Prabhupada's books, prasadam, and the same thing he's doing today. And the fact is that if one sticks with that one service and develops it, then you can see it is the most amazing, glorious, elaborate Krishna conscious festivals in the world. We all know it, are organized by His Holiness Nidhi Maharaj. So if we can, I just pray that somehow we can follow his example. Like mine very flickering, my mind goes everywhere. But we can stick to the service. I'm trying to stick to the service of distributing Prabhupada's books and encouraging them. But Nidhi Maharaj is a extremely inspiring God brother, because we were together. He was more in France, I was more in Italy, but we were together in that time in the early 1980s. And then, as we know, at a certain point, there was some disaster, some confusion occurred. And some people did, a lot of people didn't survive that. Not the devotees didn't quite survive. They're kind of, some of them are appearing now, but many didn't quite survive that. The Indradurna Maharaj, and he was right in the thick of it. He was right there where everything was happening. In the middle of the confusion. And in the middle of the confusion. Not that he was confused, but that he was there where it was the worst, felt the worst, felt the most. And he immediately took up his danda and went off. And that's why all of you are here. And somehow he went off to far off lands and far off lands in Russia and Ukraine, Poland, and then as we know, everywhere else in the world, from Mongolia to the Amazon to everywhere. But it was so amazing to watch, to how he was traveling and preaching in the most exotic and all the places in the world. But especially that he went and saved all of you that are there, and especially in Russia and Ukraine. So that's the sign, that's how we can recognize a real Vaishnava. That he's a touchstone. Touchstone means that wherever he touches turns to gold. So when he's traveling and preaching, then we can know he's a great Vaishnava, because so many of you have taken up Krishna consciousness, so many people have been touched. He's transformed everything from gypsies to Mongolians to people from everywhere in the world, to Hindus, what do they call them? In the Amazon jungle, in the little villages in the Amazon jungle. Everywhere he goes, he transforms everyone into Vaishnavas, into devotees. So my tiny, insignificant service, I'm always taking inspiration and encouragement. And I from Indradurna Maharaj, and I really pray that one day, if somehow or other I've finished things change in the world, I hope someday I can come and be with him.
Maybe he can come to Italy.
And maybe he can come and visit us. And we would all really love to have this association. I know everyone is dying to have this association, and when things open up again, we hope that we'll be able to get this association, because I don't know of anyone that gives more enthusiasm to chant and dance and glorify Srila Prabhupada and spread Krishna consciousness. I don't know any godbrother. I have many wonderful godbrothers that are spreading Krishna consciousness, but Indradurna Maharaj is special because he's very innocent. Yes, he's like he has the heart of an innocent child, but a heart so big that he can give shelter to so many people. And it's interesting because we're both from the same place, actually, originally. I'm from San Francisco, he's from Tiburon, which is about, you can almost throw a rock from San Francisco and hit Tiburon. It's just across the little bay. And so it's nice to see that a hometown boy made good for the same town. California, because many of our big devotees and movement spiritual are from New York. And New York is famous that people are tough, heavy, and cynical. And California, we're kind of famous for being a little more lighthearted and different mood. So I'm very happy that somehow or other I took birth just a couple years after Indradurna Maharaj in the same place. And that somehow my Krishna's arrangement, I got his association, my beginning of my life outside of America and Europe. And I hope very much to have his association again as soon as possible. Either by him coming to Italy or us going to where he is. But thank you so much, Maharaj, for being so inspiring and being such a good example that even in such difficult times that we know we went through years ago, that we took the right straight path along with Habibi Govinda Maharaj and others, and went off very strongly to spread Krishna consciousness and carry on and have great success. And remember that we promised that you would give a program for the Italian devotees online next month. So we are waiting for. We're waiting for your date when you can do it. Okay, so I think the time is up. There's many devotees to speak, but thank you so much, Maharaj, for the devotees for inviting us. I'm so happy to have the chance to glorify you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, dear Try Prabhu, Das Prabhu. And would Mataji Krishna Loka speak as well?
She wasn't planning to speak, but
yeah, I wasn't planning to speak, but I just want to thank you, Maharaj, to be so enthusiastic about Krishna consciousness, and I always feel very touched when he speaks about Prabhupada. I can feel that he has a lot of love for Prabhupada, and I remember when in 1980 he was coming to Italy, I was taken for granted. I thought it was going to be always like this, but then he couldn't come anymore, and I really hope to see him again here in Italy. I remember the last time, Maharaj, you came to Villa Vrindavan, we stayed with you for 3 or 4 days. It was wonderful, really wonderful. Thank you very much for genuine enthusiasm. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for such a wonderful words, and thank you, Prabhu, as well. We're gonna move to the next, and we also have from Italia. We have the Елена Москвина. I think she's coming from the same window. Дорогие преданные, мы будем дальше продвигаться.
Dear devotees, we are moving on. Thank you so much, our dear disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who came to us to together with us greet Srila Gurudev and share such a wonderful day together. Now we have Yelena Moskovkina, who is also from Italy, Bologna, and as far as I understand, she will be speaking from the same previous window, correct? No, I'm in a separate window. I'm from home.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, пожалуйста. Мы ждем, мы слушаем вас.
We are eagerly waiting for you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, дорогой Гуру.
Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev. Please accept my obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada. My name is Yelena Moskovkina, and I am very fortunate because my Shiksha Guru is Trai Prabhu and Krishna Loka Mataji. By their mercy, I was reunited with you, my eternal spiritual teacher, and received the pranama mantra from you. Thank you, dear teacher, for this gift, great gift. Thank you for your message to me personally. When I heard that you were accepting me as a candidate disciple and would do your best to bring me to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, I burst into tears of happiness. And tears of gratitude flowed from my eyes all day. To be honest, I always cry remembering this, here and now. Too. You are my hero, Gurudev. Your devotion and love for Srila Prabhupada is a source of endless inspiration and happiness for me. I am ready to constantly read and reread your offerings to Srila Prabhupada on Vyasa Puja and cry with happiness. All your wonderful deeds, festivals in Poland and other countries, diaries of a traveling monk, Krishna Katha, all for the satisfaction of Srila Prabhupada and serving his mission. How I wish and I pray for it to have at least a little of the same devotion to you, dear teacher. In moments of sadness, anxiety and doubts, when it seems that enthusiasm is fading away, I just open your diaries. A few lines are sufficient for the joy and desire to serve, to love, to come back to me again. Your fortitude, wisdom, faith, courage, decisiveness on the one hand, and kindness, sensitivity, devotion, love for your students, for children, compassion for all living beings on the other, amaze me immensely. You are my hero. Thank you for that. Your close relationship with Lord Narasimha is another source of nectar for me. How many times Lord Narasimha saved you and your disciples from danger? Thanks to your deep faith and surrender. Lord Narasimha saved me and my loved ones more than once. When I was pregnant, my husband, a motorcycle enthusiast, drove me around in his racing motorcycle. I was worried about the baby, and I imagined that it was not my husband who was driving the motorcycle, but Lord Narasimha himself. I imagined his mane fluttering in the wind, his powerful hands on the handlebars. I hugged him from behind and I chanted a mantra at the top of my voice. A few months later, my son and I ended up in a hospital due to the threat of an early birth, and I prayed to Lord Narasimha. Dear Lord, you have always kept me and our baby. Save him now. Protect your love, which you have put in my mother's heart in the mother's heart in the baby. And the Lord protected. My faith in the Lord was supported by your faith and devotion, dear Gurudev. You are my hero. You recently gave me a gift, dear Gurudev. You have uploaded a video of your Vyasa Puja to Lord Narasimha. Honestly, I have never before seen such concentration, attentiveness, delicacy, tenderness towards the divine, which I saw in you. Thank you. I admire your honesty, humility, non-attachment to honor and glory. Once you talked about how during the month of Kartika and Vrindavan, together with your godbrothers, you were asked to talk about the pastimes of Krishna, and you admitted that to yourself and to all of us that you didn't know a lot of the Leelas. You honestly told one of your godbrothers about this, and he told you a story about Krishna that was right for that particular moment. Since then, you have become one of the most avid collectors and storytellers of the stories of the Lord and His great devotees. Thank you for the nectar of your lectures, for your example of simplicity, modesty, and determination to learn. You are my hero, Gurudev. Please bless me, Gurudev, so that I can serve you eternally with the same devotion and love as you serve your master. Hare Krishna. I would like to remind all the devotees who are present here today, we have more than 72 people already, and 30 of those will be able to speak today. Please, whenever you speak, we would like to request you, for the Srila Gurudev, it is important to hear your name and from where you are, so that we could recognize. And Srila Gurudev would like to understand every disciple, his name and the location where he is present. Therefore, before you start, please introduce yourself. Also, if someone heard the English translation, please don't forget to switch to Russian if you wish to hear. Every offering is being translated for Srila Gurudev, and he is attentively listening to all of you. Now, we would like to request Mataji Gaura Premi. Are you ready, Mataji?
Я готова, меня слышно?
I am ready, can you hear me? Yes, please.
Начинайте, и, пожалуйста, не забудьте сказать, да? Да, да. Харе Кришна. Спасибо большое, Мамат Вриндаван Прабху. Харе Кришна всем.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Gaura Premi. I'm from Moscow.
Харе Кришна, дорогой Шрила Гурудев.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev.
Пожалуйста, примите мои самые смиренные.
Please accept my most humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your divine mercy.
Для меня это очень волнительный момент.
For me, it is a very nervous moment, because for the first time I'm reading my offering to you, and I was promising myself that I will not be nervous, but seems like I can't handle that. Therefore, I would like to apologize for some additional feelings. First, I would like to express my gratitude and to all the organizers for this opportunity to participate in this festival of love, as you often say, describing the highest, sweetest cream of the cream. That's exactly what is happening with us right now.
Разве это не потрясающе?
Isn't it wonderful? For the fourth day we are celebrating, and every day it's new. It's the magic of Krishna consciousness. The holy name, and nothing is everything is under its direction. I don't even know from where we get so much enthusiasm and to continue. And it seems like it's just the beginning. It's Russia, and then you have more journeys throughout the world, where we will meet wonderful, sweet, caring devotees. Now I'm at a job at workplace, therefore I'm not following the dress code. Therefore, I would like to apologize for this, Srila Gurudev. As your disciple, I would have preferred to appear in front of you with tilak and sari, but unfortunately, I don't have such an opportunity today. Nonetheless, I can't miss the opportunity to express my love and gratitude to you. So many things were spoken before me, and so many more will be said after me also. One valuable thing I can say is something from my heart, something what is so dear to me. You are the most important person in my life. For someone's birthday, it is appropriate to come with a gift. And I was thinking, what can I gift to you? Firstly, I was thinking to offer to you my heart, but I can only offer something what is owned by me, because you have already stolen my heart. Then I was thinking maybe I can offer service, my life. But even my life is not owned by me, because when I became your disciple, I gave you my life. And what is the point for you to own a heart which is not filled with love? Therefore, today I would like to offer to you my love. Dear Srila Gurudev, I immensely love you. And I promise to love you for my whole life and even beyond. What does it mean to love for me? For me, love, it's a verb. It means to do something for you. Dear Srila Gurudev, I really want, I pray for, to serve you throughout my whole life, and so that you would accept my service. And I promise that I will serve beyond all my human abilities, and there won't be a moment when I will spare myself, because I am ready to try for 108% fully. I don't have other goal but serving you and pleasing you with my service, so that you could at least accept it. I promise to learn to serve better, to learn and work on the quality of the service. So with every year, I could take more responsibilities upon myself and get more involved in the process. I really want to be your true soldier. Please accept me. If you require something from me, if I could do anything for you, please, don't even ask me, just take it. Take whatever you desire, because there is nothing in my life what is more valuable than relationship with you. I am a beginning devotee, but it is my true desire. You gave me such a priceless gift as holy name, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, Sangha, family. You made my life full of meaning. And since I met you, I don't have a chance to be sad or complain or something. Of course, I could complain on the life in Russia. It's difficult. I was born in 1988. That was the first time when you arrived to Moscow. How can I complain? I am the most lucky because I met you. There is no better fortune for a human being than to meet a true spiritual master. And I am immensely grateful to you from all my heart because you are in my life. Please, don't reject me. If I commit some mistakes, I really try. Srila Gurudev, even though it's difficult for me sometimes, I promised you that no matter how many times I fall, disregarding anything, regardless of anything, because I understand that disciple has his responsibility. And I accept it in my heart
взаимоотношения
that the relationship between disciple and spiritual master,
в них участвуют двое.
two people are involved there. And you're giving so much love to me, so much care, so much attention.
И
And
несмотря на все то, что
regardless of whatever you have given me, the one impediment of my spiritual life is only I, myself. Until now, only due to all this dirtiness which is present in my heart, I cannot progress as fast and satisfy you with my spiritual success. But you gave me the process of chanting, you gave me shastras,
это все очищает.
and all this purifies my heart from year to year. Thank you so much for this, because you're not just giving Shastra, you are also an example of realizing them. Without you,
Бхагавад-гита была бы для меня
Bhagavad Gita would be for me
интересной книгой.
just an interesting book with mystical story, but because of you, it's alive.
Не только можете объяснить,
Because you're not just explaining the philosophy, you can also apply it on a practical level, and how I should apply it in life in this reality.
началась пандемия.
For example, pandemic.
Я думаю,
I myself and probably some more devotees from Polish tour were feeling helpless, lost. I didn't know how to live because for many years my life was circulating around Polish tour. The whole year was around Polish tour. There was a Vrindavan Parikram. Between them, there was a Russian tour when you would arrive for Vyasa Puja. And between these bright events, there was some little blocks which were just for the packing of luggage, and everything changed. And I was sitting at home alone.
стала слушать ваши
And then I started to hear your classes, and I saw how you performing a revolution.
этого до пандемии
Before pandemic,
считался не самым
internet was considered not the best place, but due to holy name and your divine vision,
этот интернет.
you transformed the internet.
Революция.
And this revolution, spiritual,
Лет об этом будем вспоминать.
many years after, we will remember how it happened.
Спасибо вам.
And thanks to you and to Ananda Vrindavan, the whole team of translators who are working and producers, that this priceless gift, your classes, which will be with us, they will be with us for our children, for our grandchildren, and will be passing on to them. If this knowledge will live for hundreds of years.
Прямо здесь и сейчас вы
And here and now, you are showing to us that regardless of pandemic, yes, of course, our life changed, but we can practice. If we are at one place, we have time to study Shastra, follow sadhana.
научили меня.
And you taught me this. And because of you, during pandemic, I was able to find meaning and transform my life.
Спасибо вам за это, за всё,
Thank you for this, for everything what you do for us, for your disciples, because it is very, extremely valuable.
что
Always think that
лидер
you are such a
что
leader
в мире нуждаются
that people in the whole world, they require to enthusiasm or to be inspired. And what does inspire you? You are alone,
людям помогаете.
can help so many people, thousands of people you help in this world.
И я поняла, что
And I understood that this is your relationship with spiritual master, your relationship with Srila Prabhupada, your love for spiritual master. And from day to day, this enthusiasm comes from your heart, from a spiritual feeling towards your spiritual master. Srila Gurudev, I'm immensely grateful to you for those examples which you're showing to us, how to be a good disciple. What does it mean to serve spiritual master?
и я учусь у вас.
And I learn from you.
Стать для вас хорошим.
And I learn from you how to become a good disciple for you, so that you will be proud of me. So in the future, I could be your representative, and you wouldn't be ashamed of me.
Так благодарна вам.
And I'm so grateful to you that you're giving me the connection with Srila Prabhupada.
Это так важно.
This is so important.
Спасибо вам большое за это.
Thank you so much for this, Srila Gurudev.
И я хотела бы еще
And I would like to thank separately my daughter. She cannot be present here today with me
потому что
because she is at school and I'm at workplace.
мы часто
But we quite often talk about you with her, listening classes together.
она тоже смотрит.
And she also sees the videos about Prabhupada and gets very inspired.
И вы для нее
You are for her a source of inspiration, a source of love. Thank you so much for this care which you're giving us, that you're present in our life. I wish you health during this uneasy time. I wish that you will be healthy, full of strength as always, so that you would continue to preach for many, many years. And I dream about the time when we will soon meet again together, and it will be an ocean of tears, ocean of garlands, ocean of chocolate cakes. Shila Gurudev, I'm really inviting you to Moscow. Whenever you will arrive here, we will be feast and have festivals for a whole year or even more. We are waiting for you here. We will dance and chant and eat ocean of prasadam until we fall down. So that, and then to regain the consciousness, we will have to massage all the devotees so they could get up and continue to dance. So that at some moment we wouldn't even feel our legs and we would lose our voices because we were chanting so loud that the whole Moscow would hear us. I really wait for this time. Hare Krishna, dear Shila Gurudev. Your eternal disciple, Gaura Premi Dasi. Thank you so much, Mataji Gaura Premi. We really value. It's an amazing love for Shila Gurudev. Thanks for this wonderful years, for your devotion, for such a sincerity,
искренние именно мысли, которые вы
for the sincere thoughts which you expressed.
Помогут нам всем именно понять.
It is helpful for all of us to understand our relationship.
I just want to say for our dear friends, dear guests from
Italy, dear Das Prabhu, you can actually switch English if you like. There is an English option. It's a little globe on yeah. Okay, great. Okay. So, спасибо большое, дорогие преданные.
Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you once again, Gaura Premi Mataji. And now we are moving on to our dear Narada Rishi Prabhu. Please, Narada Rishi Prabhu, tell us that you're here and you are ready, and we will be glad to hear you. Please. I am Narada Rishi Das from Vrindavan, Uttar Pradesh, India. And just recently, I was planning, I wanted to read an offering yesterday, but it so happened that it happened today. And I prepared something, and something I will add from my own words. Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. In the day of celebration of your Vyasa Puja, I thank you for your service to Srila Prabhupada, in which you're involving all of your disciples, for your nectarian-like classes. Due to these classes, as I'm present in Vrindavan, I feel more presence in Vrindavan. For your relationship with your disciples, I would like to thank you that you're my master and Lord, life after life, and you're always on the battlefield. Eternal relationship means there was never beginning and there will never be an end. And understanding eternal relationship with you gives me strength to move on, move forward, regardless of any difficulties or problems, which are quite many at this point. And my only meaning is to serve you, life after life. Whatever belongs to me actually belongs to you. And I myself also belong to you. Therefore, I thank you for all of this. And I'm very happy that you're that person with whom the eternal relationship makes the relationships between your disciples spiritually. And thanks for all these wonderful God brothers and God sisters which I now have. Serving together with them is an endless serving in the mission of Srila Prabhupada It is endless source of nectar and happiness. Your eternal servant of your servants, Narada Rishi Das.
Спасибо большое, Нарада Риши Прабhu. Спасибо большое.
Thank you, Narada Rishi Prabhu. Thank you for such a heartfelt offering to our dear Srila and beloved Srila Gurudev. Thank you. Now we have so many wonderful devotees who will be opening our hearts. And I would like to remember one of the letters when Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Uddhava Prabhu. And he said in that letter that, be happy in separation. I am separated with my spiritual master since 1936, and remember that only by following his instructions you can truly be happy, and thus this separation will transform you, will become a bliss for you. Thank you, dear devotees, and
Pada, пожалуйста.
Mataji Sharupa Manjari, Pada, please introduce yourself and say from which location you are coming from.
Mataji, вы здесь с нами, пожалуйста,
Are you
включите.
here with us, Mataji? Please turn on your mic.
Мы вас не слышим.
We can't hear you.
Мы вас не слышим пока.
We cannot hear you yet.
Не слышим пока. Нет, Сергей, Александр, можешь помочь, Мададжи?
Could you help Mataji to turn on?
Вытащить гарнитуру, попробовать без нее сказать.
Perhaps take out the earphones.
Вот, теперь мы слышим вас.
Oh yeah, now we can hear you. Please proceed.
Погромче говорите, да.
Speak louder. Please speak louder.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I want to offer garland to Srila Gurudev. I will speak in English language because I want to please Srila Gurudev more to speak in English language, and I'm very sorry for my English. It's my first time. So, my name is Sri Rupa Manjari Padadasi. I'm from Udupi, Karnataka, India. Hare Krishna. My dear Srila Gurudeva, my beloved spiritual master, please accept my most humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Namaste Gurudevaya, Sarva Siddhi Pradayane, Sarva Mangala Rupaya, Sarvananda Vidhayane. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your divine appearance day. All glories to Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Today is my favorite and the most important day of the year. Words fail to express my feelings, but I will try. My dear Srila Gurudeva, no doubt you're an amazing spiritual personality, empowered personally by Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Sankirtana mission. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu endowed you with all his divine energies. You're saving billions of living entities, loading them with the nectar of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Quote, in order to give liberation to the people from all the knocks of the universe who had no opportunity to meet him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally entered the body of pure devotees, thus having empowered them and transmitted love for God through them. So the people from different countries got their association and become pure devotees. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antilila. In truth, you are the associate of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada man. My dear Srila Gurudeva, you saved me from death. You put me out from the hell of material existence. Thank you very much for everything. Every day my heart fills with endless gratitude towards you. It was you who gave me the most treasures. Amazing spiritual name, Sri Rupa Manjari Padadasi, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Gayatri Mantra, Association and Service for the Pure Devotees, Sankirtana Mission, amazing lectures, webinars, Kirtan, Holidam, Shishirata Govindevji Darshan, and more and more and more. You gave me Shri Krishna in form of Sri Govardhan, Telegram and Dvarakashila, and an opportunity to serve him. Doing everyday puja, I am extremely grateful to you for doing this puja. My dear Shila Gurudeva, thank you very much for the wonderful, incredible, adorable, amazing spiritual experience at your amazing lectures and webinars. It's really our precious, precious treasure. My dear Shila Gurudeva, thank you very much for my name inscription in your secret diary with the name of the devotees to remember about. Now I know for sure I am made up of your mercy, and all my desires are fulfilled by your mercy only. My dear Shila Gurudeva, today taking straw between my teeth and leaning to your lotus feet, I am praying, I am begging you, please, 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 make me a pure devotee. Drown me in the ocean of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Prema Bhakti and take my life for your Sankirtana mission and Vaishnava service. I am your property. Please engage me as you like. I agree for everything. I am puppet in your hands. So make me dance, make me dance, make me dance as you wish. But please include me in your team, which travels forever, all over the universe, and flood all living entities with this transcendental nectar of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Karatals, dancing shoes, gopi dog, garlands, and Srila Prabhupada books are ready. We are waiting for the lockdown to be over. My dear Srila Gurudeva, please forgive my mistakes and my imperfections. I am trying my best to follow your instructions. God, O Srila, O Gurudeva, I have surrendered my body and everything that is mine at your lotus feet. I should follow your every instruction. My only wish is to receive your merciful benediction, by which you kindly make me drink the transcendental nectar of Shri Krishna's lotus feet. My dear Srila Gurudeva, to say that I love you very much and I miss you very much means to say nothing. Billion, trillion times, thank you very much for everything. I am crying, crying and crying in separation with you, realizing clearer and more aware that every moment of my life it's only your great and causeless mercy and nothing else. But I am extremely grateful to this separation, because in separation makes heart grow fonder. Tvam gopika vrisharadestanayanti kesi devadhikari guru nijapada padme dasyam pradaya kurumam prajakanane shri radhan griseva narasetinim pukapam. O beloved spiritual master, you always serve the lotus feet of the charming Gopi Radhika, the adorable daughter of Maharaja Vrishabhanu. Please make me worthy to serve your lotus feet, the treasure of the pure devotional service. By your mercy, I will be able to eternally serve Sri Radha in the beautiful groves of Rajadhama. Having served the lotus feet of Radha, I will enjoy various sevaras and thus submerge in the ocean of bliss. Pancharatra Pradipa, the eternal servant of your servant Shri Rupa Manjari Padadasi, Гокула Вриндавана, Удупи, Индия.
Спасибо большое вам, наша Рупа Манджари Падаматаджи.
Thank you so much, our dear Shri Rupa Manjari Padamataji. It was so wonderful to hear your voice, especially when you were reading such beautiful poems. And I would also like to say that Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya, he asked Ramananda Rai, what is the most painful feeling you could feel? And Ramananda Rai, the strongest pain which I can feel is separation with devotees of Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees. And next, Madhavarani Mataji, please prepare yourself and turn on the mic. Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev. My name is Madhavarani Dasi. I am from St. Petersburg.
Смиренные поклоны.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Позвольте для начала преподнести
Please allow me to offer this little garland from the flowers which finally had grown in my personal garden. Dear Srila Gurudev, I'm listening to these offerings from the disciples and I really want to cry, but from the depth of my heart, I'm so grateful for all the things which you are doing for me. We are progressing. My children, my husband, we are progressing only due to your prayers and due to the prayers of the spiritual master of my husband, Chaitanya Chandra Charan Prabhu. Our family and relationship within the family becomes better with every day because we have higher goals than just material enjoyment. We have a spiritual goal, and you put spiritual knowledge into our intelligence, and this is a great value, and it cannot be repaid. Dear Srila Gurudev, when I hear in your classes that you will never leave your disciples and you will be dragging them to spiritual world even if they will be trying to resist, I understand that perhaps I too have a chance. Thank you so much, dear Srila Gurudev, for this. Separately, please allow me to thank you for your care about us, for your disciples, that you're giving your time. The separation with you and others, but due to your classes, we can open Vrindavan for ourselves and come in contact with Krishna. Myself and our family are missing you and your associates, Bada Haridas and Chaturatma Prabhus. Perhaps by your inspiration, they will shower mercy upon us and also may record several classes for us. It would be so wonderful. Please allow on the day of your Vyasa Puja to tell you a little story which is related to my to what I do and the preaching which I perform. For me, this story is about that whatever I do, if I'm following your instructions, I will always be in the mission of Prabhupada and will always be in the service to you. Due to devotees, 6 years ago, I started to teach Russian songs for girls. And devotees and myself, we decided that we could teach Krishna consciousness in this way, indirectly. The plan was I prepare a lot of prasadam, and for the most part of the class, we take prasad, and during prasadam, I share some realizations which came from association with you about Vikramas, about service on the Tosh tour, and association with other devotees. And I tell and narrate to them that Russia initially was Vedic. My first student was Mataji Darya. She was attending all the classes. She was the best. She was attentively listening, and she was progressing quite steadily. 2 years ago, she called me and she said, seems like I don't want to search anymore. I decided I want to practice Krishna consciousness because this knowledge is overwhelming. And the method is very practical. And this happened on the next day after you in Moscow collected a group of devotees, bloggers, who were leading blogs. And you said that if perhaps through your indirect preaching, at least one person would join, I would be fully satisfied with your service. It was a great happiness and blessing for me, even though it seems like I am in that group of devotees who don't even wash pots and don't really do any service. And then 1 year later, I met with Darya. She started to practice. She started to attend the groups of Shastra Bhakti Vriksha. She started to chant regularly. And a year ago, we met and she said, by the way, it seems like I need a spiritual master. Perhaps you could tell something about yours. And I started to tell her something about you, and she immediately grabbed onto me, and with the tears in her eyes, she said, how can I accept initiation from him? How can I receive pranam from him? Dear Srila Gurudev, please allow me to introduce to you today my first vocal student who really wants to become your student.
Это да.
Her name is Daria.
Дорогой
Dear Srila Gurudev,
я привлекаюсь.
I got attracted to Krishna consciousness when I saw that
Просто верит в Бога.
somebody is not just simply believing in God, but he has personal, loving relationship with God. That God is a person. His name is Krishna. He has a name. And since then, my life got meaning. Please bless me to enter the family of your disciples.
Пожалуйста, благословите меня.
And please bless me to never leave this family.
Спасибо большое, Шила Гурудев.
Thank you so much, dear Srila Gurudev. And we, together with Dasha, she was quite afraid that I would be glorifying her too much. But she actually sings really nicely. We will sing a little part of the song, which traditionally was sang on the birthdays during old Russia.
Создатель всего света, на котором мы живем, многое лето пропоем, многое лето пропоем.
The meaning is the God is the creator and let us pass many summers by His grace. Thank you, Srila Gurudev.
И преданно, спасибо большое, Мадаварани Мададжи.
Thank you, Madhavarani Mataji.
Ваш друг тоже,
And your friend
хочет принять Шрила Гурудева.
who also wants to accept Gurudev in her heart. Thank you so much for this,
За такие очень приятные,
for these very pleasing words, and of course for this song, quite touching song, beautiful voices.
Мы идем дальше.
We are moving forward.
Тунгавидия
We
Мададжи.
have Tungavidya Mataji.
Включите ваш...
Please turn on your mic. We are all eagerly waiting for you. And I would like to make one announcement.
Харе Кришна, все преданные.
Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev.
Я очень волнуюсь.
Please excuse me, I'm really nervous. Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet.
Слава Шриле
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Несмотря на все сложности,
Regardless of all the difficulties,
в своей жизни, я считаю свою жизнь
I feel that my life is very fortunate because in 91 I met devotees, and in January of 92 I met you in Moscow, and there was an opportunity for me to see your wonderful kirtans and hear your classes, and I understood that you're my true, real spiritual master. For more than 10 years I didn't have an opportunity to see you, but by your great mercy today I can not just see you, but also attempt to glorify your divine qualities. Your divine classes, kirtans, they're endless nectar. They immerse us into the ocean of bliss and love. Like Lord Chaitanya, you are sharing holy name in Krishna Prema. With such a care, you put into our hearts this divine love. Oh Srila Gurudev, you have all the transcendental qualities. Your compassion is endless. Please forgive me for my pitiful attempt to glorify you. You are my spiritual master and father. Again and again, I offer my humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. Your undeserving disciple, Tungavidya Dasi. And this is my son, Artyom. He would like to say a couple of words. He would like to thank you. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Indradumna Swami Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. I'm very happy to see you this for the first time. I want to say many things, but I'm afraid I'm taking time. Thank you that you gave me such name. I'm really, really happy to see you. Thank you that you thought my mother, because I myself wouldn't know anything.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Да будьте ваше имя будет всегда прославлено.
Let your name be always famous. Hare Krishna.
Ananta, I want to say something to the boy.
Please, Gurudev.
Ananta, can I say something to the boy?
Of course, Srila Gurudev, please.
Is he there?
Yes.
Yes, he's here. He can hear you.
Let me see him.
А как мальчика зовут еще раз?
Меня зовут Артем, мне 9 лет.
9 лет из Нижнего... Артем, 9 лет из Нижнего Новгорода. Вы дали заочно ему...
Artem, 9 years from Nizhny Novgorod. Through Shyama Priya, you gave a name to him. She was asking on his behalf the name.
How old is he now?
9.
He's 9.
He's 9. His name is
Okay.
Namruchi.
So tell Namruchi when he's 16, he can come and be my servant and travel with me.
Намручи, когда тебе будет 16, ты сможешь путешествовать с Гурудевом, Гурудев тебя приглашает.
Спасибо вам
Спасибо огромное.
Thank you so much. And I have a question.
Okay.
Could I be your disciple, just like my mom?
He's asking, can he become your disciple?
Yes, in my heart, I've already accepted you as my disciple.
Шрила Гурудев говорит, что в своем сердце он уже принял тебя своим учеником.
Good, thank you very much. Да вы знаете, я знаю английский, я в 3 классе.
I'm studying in 3rd grade.
He's saying he is in the 3rd grade. Шрила Гурудев спрашивает, а ты читаешь мантру? Сколько ты читаешь кругов?
Ой, ну знаете, як это, наверное, мой самый...
The biggest progress in mantra, perhaps 7 rounds per day.
7 rounds.
Wow.
Правда, у меня...
I'll send him some japa beads.
читать мантру, но я стараюсь ее читать каждый день.
I try to chant daily. I try.
Шрила Гурудев говорит, что...
So I will send you some japa beads. You send me your address and I'll send you some japa beads from India.
Да, Шрила Гурудев пошлет вам четки, пожалуйста, пришлите ваш адрес, и он пошлет четки из Индии для сына вашего.
Спасибо вам огромное!
Thank you. I really love you so much.
Спасибо вам
Thank you
огромное.
very much. Thank you very much. Спасибо
You're
вам.
you're my spiritual son. I have to take care of you.
Да благословит вас Кришна.
May Krishna bless you. Good luck. Best of luck.
Шрила Гурудев говорит, что ты мой духовный сын, поэтому мне нужно беречь и заботиться о тебе.
Спасибо вам огромное.
Thank you so much.
Вы нам такую
Thank you.
Good boy.
показали. Это дали.
It is such an honor for us.
Thank you very much.
Спасибо вам за такую милость.
Thank you for such a mercy.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Okay, we'll continue. Спасибо, дорогие преданные, спасибо.
Thank you, dear devotees. What can we say after such
Такого примера взаимоотношений.
example of relationship between our dear Srila Gurudev and this wonderful boy who
настолько удачлив,
is so lucky, fortunate to receive so much mercy from Srila Gurudev.
Да, теперь мы идем дальше.
Now we are moving forward. Next is
наш дорогой Сергей Венедиктов.
Sergey Benediktov Prabhu. Sergey Benediktov Prabhu, please say that you are ready and turn on your microphone.
Hare Krishna.
Пожалуйста, не забудьте сказать, откуда вы. И
Please don't forget to introduce yourself for Srila Gurudev, so he would know.
Меня зовут Сергей.
Hare Krishna, my name is Sergey. I'm from Moscow.
Немножко разволновался.
I'm quite nervous as I was hearing God brothers and God sisters.
Пожалуйста, примите мои смиренные.
Please accept my humble obeisance in the dust of your lotus feet, dear Srila Gurudev. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Radha and Krishna.
Я из Москвы.
I'm from Moscow. I'm your devoted disciple. I do Harinam Sankirtan. I serve in Gaura Shakti group. We are distributing the glories of the holy name, books, prasadam, and we are showing by our example how we can live in Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy names. Recently, I found your wonderful photo, which I will show right now, where you are holding a huge eagle in your hand.
Это чудеснейшая фотография.
This wonderful photo.
Я сохранил ее себе на смартфон.
And I saved it on my phone everywhere, and I put it in my heart, and I wrote on my Instagram, the Guru is a symbol of victory.
Духовный мир, он подобен
Spiritual world is like a rainbow. on the horizon. It seems it's very close. It seems like you can walk a little bit and you can grab it. But as you move closer, rainbow leaves. You run, but it leaves. And spiritual world is like a rainbow. And only by the grace of Guru, one can actually grasp the spiritual rainbow. And you are, Srila Gurudev, from here, you're the most vivid, inspiring example of devotional service to your Guru. And my only desire in my heart is to become disciple like you are. And I wanted to say that I'm a soldier of Sankirtan, mission of Sankirtana. And as a soldier, I need a clear purpose and mission and guidance, Guru. And I wrote to you some time ago where I asked a couple of important questions for me regarding instructorship. And if you have time, I hope that Mahavan Prabhu, my dear God brother, will pass on the letter. Here, I would like to ask blessings from you to be able to find someone who is as devoted to Sankirtan as you are, so he could employ me in 108% in Srila Prabhupada's mission, so that my mentor would be also satisfied. So he would be able to recommend you as disciples, so that I could be initiated into the holy name in order to distribute the glories of Radha Krishna everywhere. Dear Srila Gurudev, please allow me to be a sword in your hands in the mission of preaching. My obeisances, prostrated obeisance, and I would like to thank Namaruchi Prabhu, who just now spoke. He's very inspiring God brothers. I would also like to bless him. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Спасибо, дорогой наш Сергей.
Hare Krishna, dear Sergey.
Ваши слова.
Thank you for your warm words.
Большое, что вы здесь, и
Thank you that you're here with us.
прекрасных преданных у нас сегодня, которые будут открывать свои сердца.
So many wonderful devotees are here with us today who are eager to open their hearts.
Следующее у нас Ганхарвика Сундари.
Next is Gandharvika Sundari Mataji.
Ганхарвика Судари Мадажи, вы готовы?
Are you ready, Mataji?
Пожалуйста, представьтесь. Мы
Please introduce yourself. We are ready.
Харе Кришна, Шрила Гурудев. Пожалуйста, примите мои
Please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you.
Была несколько расстроена, что не смогла принять
I was quite sad that I was not able to participate online Vyasa Puja, which was happening in Moscow.
И я даже так расстроилась, что мне
And I was so sad.
чтобы подарить вам в этот день. Но я хотела сказать, что я все еще пытаюсь быть вашей
I still try to be a good disciple and serve the mission. And during this event, I was in Voronezh. I was invited for Kirtan Mela, and I was leading the Kirtan, and I was participating on the violin and was helping Adirasa Prabhu, who was previously, as you remember, Aditi Dukha, his previous name. And for me, this was quite nervous because he is a really good musician, and he always knows how everything should look like. So I asked, how should I play for him to make his kirtans better? And he just smiled. He said, Mataji, you are beyond all expectations. It was quite a high grade from him, because I'm very nervous, because he has quite high demands for participants of the kirtan. It was a program for new people, and at the end of the program, I offered everyone, let us all dance. Whenever we do preaching in Poland or wherever, so the new people there, with great enthusiasm, they accepted this idea. It was nice to see how people are chanting and dancing the holy name. And I always remember the preaching on the Polish tour when I was there with you. For me, it will always be deep in my heart. I have one dream, so that once I ask you, Gurudev, how can I serve you better? Then you would reply, Gandharvika, you are beyond all expectations. I would like to hear that at some point. I want to be a good disciple for you and serve you throughout my whole life. Thank you, Srila Gurudev. And I think it would be a mistake not to play a little bit for you.
Харе Кришна, мои вам поклоны.
My obeisances unto you.
Спасибо большое, Гандхарви Сундari. Такой
Thank you,
талант.
Gandharvi Sundari, such a talent.
Спасибо, что так прекрасно.
Thank you that you wonderfully play the violin. Thank you that you are here,
Время
found the time
разделили нам с
to share with us such great happiness of association with Srila Gurudev.
Мне пишут, что следующее у нас
Next would be Madhavi Gopika Mataji.
Сегодня день рождения.
And it is her birthday today. We are congratulating her from all our heart, from everyone here, from all the disciples, God brothers, God sisters, and she helps translating classes of Srila Gurudev. We are very grateful to her. Please, Madhavi Gopika,
Спасибо вам.
your words.
Харе Кришна, Ананта Вриндаван Прабху, спасибо большое.
Hare Krishna and Vrindavan Prabhu,
Харе
thank
Кришна,
you.
Шрила Гурудев. Я очень рада вас видеть.
I'm very happy to see you on this day. I will start to cry now.
Примите наш поклон,
Please
пожалуйста.
accept our obeisance. My name is Madhavi Gopika.
Мой муж, Павна
It's my husband, Pavna Narasimha, and our son, Govinda Raj.
Я вообще не могу говорить,
I
наверное.
will not be able to talk, I guess.
Он тортик.
This cake we would like to present to you.
Рождение вас.
Happy birthday.
Спасибо вам большое, что вы есть. Спасибо.
Thank you that you are there. Thank you for your classes. I want to wish you strong health so that you wouldn't be disturbed by
Странный период времени.
anything during this unusual time, so that you could every day
Ваши лекции, конечно,
make us happy with your classes.
это невероятно.
Your classes are incredible, getting deep into Vrindavan Dham.
Спасибо вам за вашу проповедь.
Thank you for your preaching,
Занимаете
that you are involving everybody in the service, and so many people around the world are coming in contact with Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. We love you really much.
Спасибо большое, дорогие преданные. А может быть, что-то мальчик
Thank you, dear devotees.
хочет сказать?
Maybe the boy or the husband want to say something?
Харе Кришна, примите, пожалуйста.
Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisance. Would you say something? Happy birthday? No?
Он очень стеснительный.
He's very shy.
Спасибо большое, что
Thank you that you gave shelter to my daughter and to our son. He is very inspired by the service which you are performing.
это очень вдохновляет и нас.
It is inspiring us as well,
Столько искренности.
because so much sincerity which we can see. I don't know where else can we find such an example.
Надеемся, что очень
Therefore, we hope that soon in the future,
и приведет нас
He will consciously come and follow this path and will bring us to a place where we all want to go, to Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Спасибо, дорогие преданные. Спасибо.
Thank you, dear devotees.
Вот мне сейчас пишут, что у Джива Радж Прабху
I just heard that Jivaraj Prabhu, he is requesting
могла бы ли Кунджа Кишори Мададжи прочитать свой
so that Kunja Kishori Mataji could read her offering because she missed opportunity. Of course, we will give you a word. If you're ready, please tell us, turn on your mic.
Да, да. Я могу по-английски сказать?
Could I read in English?
Можете по-английски.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you. I'm so happy to have an opportunity to say a few words to you. Actually, this year is 20 years as I met you, and it was exactly 20 years ago in Petersburg, where you came to give your classes, and I also came there for the first time in my life and met you, and actually it changed the course of my life. And I just want to express my gratitude and appreciation to you for that you have been guiding me through all these years, and you have given me your support and care. And Shri Gurudev, you've given me so much of your attention and love. And actually, I'm eternally indebted to you for everything in my life, for Krishna consciousness, for wonderful association of the devotees. You have given me my wonderful husband and my children, and you have given me the holy names and Srila Prabhupada's books, and I just can't, I can't find the words to express my love to you. I just want to ask you, please, never push me away from your lotus feet, and please let me stay always beside you. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Спасибо большое. Большое Кунджи Кишори Матаджи.
Thank you, dear Kunja Kishori Mataji. Thank you so much. We are happy to hear you. We are so glad that you were able to participate today with us during this amazing Vyasa Puja. Now, I would like to show a short video. It was recorded by Kamalavati Priya Mataji. Alexander, please confirm that the video is ready, and we will all hear it together.
Замечательное видео от Матаджи Каламати Прия.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, примите,
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Yesterday, we were celebrating Vyasa Puja in St. Petersburg, and we were quite inspired by what devotees did. And I got a desire to make an offering for you and tell you what happened with us due to your mercy. We want to make you happy. What happened in our life is only by your mercy. Thank you for that. I would like to thank Achyutatma Prabhu because he supports us a lot. And even though you're not with us right now next to us, he is for me like a guru. He helps to go through difficulties here in St. Petersburg, which come into life. Through his support, I can feel your presence. And your classes help me to move in the right direction towards God. I would like to start with several years ago when we were in Vrindavan. I asked you, what can we do so Krishna replies to you 100%? It's not an easy path, you replied. You need to chant holy name. And after that, I with husband decided to go through Japa retreat in St. Petersburg. But her husband couldn't do japa alone. He decided that it is better to chant japa together with devotees. So at least once a month, 100 people come together, and we all are chanting. And I'm very grateful to you that you helped us to get immersed in the holy name. It really helps us to be afloat during this difficult time. And I would like to share with you that your mood, your inspiration, we moved into a new place, and we felt that there is not enough Harinam. It was suburbs, and we started to perform Harinams there. There were many small children there. And it was not easy. Devotees were saying, oh, we really were dreaming about Harinams in this place. So we started Harinams there, and then devotees were hungry, so they started to come to our place. And then the Namahata happened. And later on, this mood of Achitatma Prabhu in our heart, it flourished, and now we have a full-fledged programs. We are renting halls, buildings, and 50 people at least come for every program. Children are also there. At least 10 children participate. There is prasadam, and all the devotees are meeting, and they're really happy that there is such an opportunity to associate, and we are very grateful, and we would like to make you happy with this offering, tell you about it. Every year we are making such programs, and we would like to have more festivals, more feasts, to have more opportunity to serve, and thank you that you're inspiring us. Your classes help us to feel spiritual world. Understanding that this is the most important in our life. This path has to be done with internal work, and we are trying to become better with every day. And I noticed that external activity is always good when it is directed for preaching, because your mind is busy not just with some mundane things, but is actually busy with the thoughts of how to serve Vaishnavas and spiritual master, and what makes you truly, really happy. Thank you so much. On this auspicious day, I would like to ask you to give my family blessings for all our yatra, for the whole city, for all the devotees, for all the disciples and well-wishers. Please bless us so that we could continue the mission of Srila Prabhupada, so that we will have enough strength and enthusiasm to help devotees, to help ourselves also, and all the people of Kali Yuga. And we really need your strength, because you're such a lion, you have so much inspiration. We really need your support. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Спасибо большое, дорогой Александр, что нам показали.
Thank you, dear Alexandra, that you showed us such a wonderful video.
Для того, чтобы прославить
So many wonderful things are happening to glorify Srila Gurudev, to satisfy